If I were to ask what was the top selling rap album of the 90s, a lot of people might think Tupac's All Eyes on Me, Dr. Dre's The Chronic, things like that. But it was, in fact, something that was a much different style of rap. And at the very beginning of the 90s, that was the first rap album to ever achieve diamond status and to sell 10 million copies, something which only Tupac's Greatest Hits compilation came close to equaling much later in the decade. Now, in addition to being oh so popular, this album sent very important musical and cultural signals that are all too easy to sort of ignore. Now, MC Hammer was someone with sort of genuine credentials, genuine street cred, which was very important. But by the time we get to this album, we see a very different MC Hammer emerge. We see for the first time the rap star emerge as the pop star. Songs that are, PG-13 by the standards of the day for the most part, but edgy enough to remain legit. Some would say too legit to quit. I'm here all week, folks. You see the costumery, the outfits, the style, a combination of 1990s slick high fashion, and then with the balloon pants and all of that, like fun stuff, and that kind of led some of the rappers doing from the reality rap community that was simultaneously building itself up to think, oh, is this guy a sellout? And again, these arguments are things that I'm not interested in sort of addressing a conclusion to because I don't really think there is one. But people always, whether in rock, in folk, I mean, look what happened to Bob Dylan, a very different kind of person, when he put down the acoustic guitar and plugged in. Similar things. So whenever a genre that begins as something underground with a lot of music for communities rather than music for societies, when that sort of line is breached, there are always going to be accusations of selloutism. But when it comes to actually selling out copies of the records, there is no dispute. MC Hammer was the king of the 90s. And he did something that weirdly paved the way for a lot of the more hardcore reality rap, so called gangster rap, to become mainstream by the middle of the decade. And this is that he took rap and he made it something that was undisputably part of the cultural fabric. Yes, the writing was on the wall in the 80s, when everything from Run DMC in the early part of the decade to the emergence of reality rap like Ice-T and NWA in the second part of the decade, everyone knew the writing was on the wall. But when this album came out, its sheer dominance of the airwaves and of MTV and of the Billboard charts meant that rap in all of its increasingly varied guises was going to be something that would rule the 90s. And sure enough, rock was a genre that, while it entered the 90s strong, by the end of the decade, rap and hip hop were becoming the main musical language of pop music. So much so that in the 21st century, almost all musical production techniques are offshoots of what rap and hip hop and even contemporary R&B artists were doing in the 90s. This album and MC Hammer's overall hugeness in this era really helped to solidify this genre as the genre to rule them all for the next 30 years. Let me know, though, what you think. And as always, like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Take care.